But so what was your most memorable moment being in the U.S. men's team, like at that time? Actually, you know what? Ever. U.S. men's team ever.
Those two. That game that I went to South Africa. That was my first one. I was 17. I flew over, and I'm thinking, okay, like I'm just gonna be a guy that doesn't even dress for the game. Right. Like I'm just there to practice, get a feel for the guys.
Alternate.
And then in the future, alternate. Like in the future, like maybe I'll get to put on the jersey and warm up with the team, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But I guess I was doing good in practice. And then the day of the game came and he put he said, you know, you're in the 18 to make the game. And there was like 2-3 adults that didn't make the game day roster.
So in training camp, how many people do they usually invite?
They bring about 23 and then
23
18,
players.
Yeah,
only
22 and then only 18 suit up.
Okay.
There's 3 goalies, so one of the goalies usually doesn't suit up.
Right.
And then there's 3 other guys that don't suit up, but they still get paid. They still thankful that they got.
And they're still there just in case.
Yeah.
Too, right.
So I thought I was gonna be one of those guys, and I was cool with it. I was like, I'm 17, like.
Yeah, you got time.
And then I get the jersey on, and I'm warming up, and I'm like, this is cool. Like, I'm warming up. Or I got good seats at first. I'm like, I got good seats. I got front row seats to the game. I could hear what the coach is giving out tactically, and I'm like,
these other
players. These big players.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is dope. Cool. Then I'm like, but I'm not gonna go in. But then the training guys are like, okay, go warm up on the behind the goal. And I'm like, oh, shoot, this is cool. Like, I'm one of the guys that's warming up. Like, cool, but I'm not going to go in, right? And I'm like, I'm warming up. And then the game's getting to, like, the 65th, and I'm like, all right, like, it would have been cool to go in, but I'm very thankful, God, for, like, this experience.
Most likely I'm not going to go in at 65th minute. Right. That's it.
And then guys are getting called over, and I'm like, all right, like there's only 2 more subs left. Like I'm probably not going to be, because I'm looking around and I'm like, these guys have played games before. They're developed. They have kids. Like, they're over me. And then the equipment manager puts up a 1 and a 7. I double check my shorts and I'm like, oh shoot,
that's me.
Like, homie, that's me.
17.
Like I'm 17. So I'm like, I'm about to go in the game for real. There's like 15 minutes left. And the game is 0-0.
Yeah.
Or 0-0. And then I go and I'm like, I'm about to go in the game. There's 15 minutes left. I go in the game.
Who's the striker in the game at the time?
Nah, it's tough.
Was it
tough to remember?
Was it Altidore?
I don't know. I don't think Altidore came out of that game.
Oh, okay.
But I think there was like, forgot his name, but Johnson, maybe Eddie Johnson or Edson Buttle.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I come in for one of them, and then 15 minutes left, I get the ball and I score, and we win the game.
So that's got to be your favorite goal, right?
And I'm like, that's crazy that I didn't even think I was going to play. I go in the game, I score, and I become the youngest American soccer player to ever score for the senior national team.
Right.
So I like broke a record right there, right away. I come out of the game. I mean, the game's finished, and they give me the trophy for like player of the game.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm 17, and the coordinator of like the U.S. national team, the guy that does the media stuff, and he's like, hey, just to let you know, like, we're gonna need to interview this because you were the youngest player to ever score for the U.S. men's national team.
Wow.
And then I was like, and then everything just started coming at me. Boom, boom, boom. Everything was coming. After that, crazy, like ESPN, Sports Center, like top 10 plays, because it was a pretty good goal too, and it was like top 10 plays, and then it was just blowing up, like social media wise, like there was like fake, back in the day, Facebook fan pages and YouTube videos, and I used to watch other people do like other people's highlights, and now like I'm watching like myself.